So, for the past 3/4 of a year at least, I've been working with a team of 30 plus people, probably more like 40 plus people, to bring you a very special resource. And this resource was inspired by the thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of mamas who have come to us, those we've been able to help, and those who have come to us asking questions but haven't followed through with coming to us for help. And I want to give you an example of the kind of mama who has inspired this resource, which is called the Super Fertility Summit. So, this is a 44-year-old mama, and she says that I think the biggest obstacle to getting pregnant that I face is my hormone levels, are my hormone levels and stress. We recently had a setback financially, and I'm stressed about finances and financial security. And I'm also stressed about the fact that I'm not getting any younger and I haven't gotten pregnant yet. I know that my mental state is contributing to my overall fertility. I had a beautiful miracle baby at 40, and we had the help of a fertility doctor with that pregnancy. So far, we haven't gotten help, and we really need some help. So, this is the kind of mama who's coming to us day in and day out for help. And I wanted to create the Super Fertility Summit because I wanted to put together a resource that would contain best practices and real, raw, heartfelt discussions with the experts out in the field, not just myself, because even though I feel like the Primester protocol is, I mean, really the most incredible, most comprehensive system out there, I wanted to bring together the best minds in the world. And I wanted to bring to you the top experts. And I wanted this to be a disruptive event. And I mean disruptive in the very best way possible. I didn't want you to hear the same things that you always hear every time you Google a question about fertility or about miscarriage or about ovulation or about hormones or getting pregnant or staying pregnant or fertility or infertility. I wanted you to hear things that you had never heard before. I wanted you to learn the things that you didn't even know you didn't know, and the things that you didn't even know to ask. And I wanted to bring all of this richness together for you in one place. And I wanted to do it in a way where we invested the big bucks so that you don't have to. And I'm so excited to bring to you this resource that we've so lovingly been working on for the better part of the last year. And I'm so proud of how it's come together. It's incredible. And I just want to give you a little sampling. So I want to talk to you about just two of the 42 plus experts who are part of the Super Fertility Summit, who you get to learn from for free. And by the way, if you want free access to the Super Fertility Summit, just put the word peace, PEAC, peace as in peace of mind, peace as in world peace, peace as in peace in my fertility journey. Put the word peace in the comments or DM me the word peace, and we'll send you the link to directly enroll for free. You can get free access to all of the 42 plus experts and all of the incredible tips that they've provided. And you get immediately access to 15 amazing gifts that were compiled from our group of experts. They are absolutely incredible. There is a whole body preconception guide. There's a guide to immunizations. There's a guide to supplements. There are recipes, just everything that you can possibly think of. And you'll get immediate access to all of those for free. And then you have already put your name down so that as soon as the first day of the Super Fertility Summit airs, you will get notifications and you'll be able to watch everything for free. And then the second day, it's a 7-day event and it's an immersive experience. And I promise you, once you get in there and you start experiencing these conversations, you're going to want to gobble it all up. You're really going to want to soak it up, because these conversations are so inspiring. And not only are they inspiring and full of hope in a very different type of discourse around fertility and pregnancy and having healthy children, what we call our super babies, than what's out there in the world, but just really, really innovative conversations, really innovative discourse, creative ways of thinking about it, creative ways of approaching it, creative ways of addressing fertility challenges. And this group of people has a tremendous, collectively and individually, a tremendous track record of success. Of course, we have up to a 12-month, 95.8% success rate. And the other experts that you will learn from are absolutely incredible as well. So I'm just going to highlight two of them for you today. I'm going to highlight sperm mapping from Dr. Paul Turek, and I'm going to highlight making space for conception from Dr. Marc Sklar. So I want to tell you just a couple of the things that you're going to learn about from Dr. Paul Turek, who is the foremost expert in his field. You're going to be really blown away by this conversation. He highlights how important male fertility is for the conversation and equation around having a healthy baby. And he talks about just how much male fertility continues to be overlooked. That might not surprise you, but he really emphasizes that male fertility is a critical piece of the equation that is fertility, which is a team sport. So we want you to think of fertility as a team sport, and that sperm quality and sperm count can significantly impact the chances of conception. And I think all too often we see both members of the couple or a partnership, and we see healthcare providers defaulting to a focus on the woman, on her age, on her eggs, and forgetting just how critical the male, and I'm going to equate male and sperm. Obviously, not everybody has a male partner. Not everybody has a partner who identifies with the gender binary. But I want to specifically focus on the person who's providing sperm, and obviously, we really need to be highlighting the role of sperm in having a healthy baby. And then Dr. Turek discusses various factors that affect sperm health, including lifestyle choices, medical conditions, and environmental influences. And he mentions that certain conditions like recreational drug use and even hot baths can impact sperm production and quality. He also talks about how one of the most common conditions that affects male fertility is really a condition of the modern world. And I'll get into that in just a second. Dr. Turek also introduces the innovative approach of sperm mapping and the use of Clomid and HCG, which are typically associated with female fertility and pregnancy, by the way. So Clomid is a medication that can be used as an earlier intervention when somebody's having trouble getting pregnant, particularly if they seem to not be ovulating or they're older. So there's the assumption that there are issues with ovulation. And HCG is the pregnancy hormone. It's the hormone that pregnancy tests are looking for in high enough concentration to trigger that positive pregnancy test, that also coveted positive pregnancy test. But he talks about the use of HCG and Clomid in improving sperm production and health. We teach you a little bit about this in the Primester protocol as well, especially how when testosterone is low, it would be a mistake to supplement testosterone because that could actually harm male fertility, but the use of HCG can promote the production of testosterone in male fertility. So Dr. Turek goes into this as well. And he talks about how these techniques offer hope to many men facing fertility challenges and issues, allowing for targeted treatments that can lead to successful pregnancies when it was previously thought that might not be possible. So here are a couple of Dr. Turek's quotes, and you're really going to want to tune in for this conversation. I'm really excited for you to hear from Dr. Paul Turek. Sperm matter, and a correlate to that is that fertility is a team sport, so don't ignore the male. One of the most common reasons for low sperm count, which is dilated veins in the scrotum, is a disease of standing up as a species. So this is a really interesting conversation. I can't wait for you to hear more about this. Stress is the most common cause of low testosterone. Our nervous systems react to everything, even though we don't necessarily feel it or know it. Every email we get is maybe a little alarming to the body, impacting fertility. So this is a huge issue and area of focus in the trimester protocol, the central nervous system, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal cortical axis. But I've rarely heard a male fertility expert talk. I don't think I ever have heard a male fertility expert talk about this outside of the trimester protocol. So it was so exciting to hear Dr. Turek talk about this and to have this conversation in detail. Here's another quote, taking men out of hot baths can increase their sperm count by 600%. The testicle is very sensitive to heat. And raising the core body temperature is also an important consideration in female fertility as conception is nearing, if you're in the trimester protocol, as you're nearing your PCD or your projected conception date, and also something that you want to avoid once you are pregnant. And here's another last quote that I want to share with you from Dr. Turek's interview. We used to do testes biopsies in men and sometimes find areas in the testes with sperm in them. You can have pockets of sperm in the testicle that can be used to have babies, even when it's believed that that sperm count is incredibly low, or that possibly even that there are no sperm. So make sure you tune in for this fascinating conversation with Dr. Paul Turek at the Super Fertility Summit. And if you're not already on the list to access the Super Fertility Summit for free, make sure you do that today. So you can either go directly to the link that's in my bio on Instagram, or Dr. Cleopatra's bio on Instagram, or you can comment peace, the word peace, PEACE, on this post, on this live, and we will send you the link so that you can get free access to the Super Fertility Summit. I'm really excited for you to hear these conversations. Now, Dr. Marc Sklar is somebody you may know from his fertility TV channel. And he talks about the thing that you will really want to hear in this conversation is how Dr. Marc Sklar talks about making space for conception, and how sometimes in being really proactive and motivated, especially when it comes to the topic of fertility and having a baby, that the desire can almost suffocate the space, can almost create conditions of claustrophobia, and that everything needs space to grow and blossom, including our fertility. So you want to get the tools, you want to get the support, you want to have the mentorship and guidance And one of the primary reasons that you want to have that mentorship and guidance, which Dr. Marc Sklar talked about, is that when you know you have the right mentorship and guidance, you feel safe enough to give it space and to allow for the space for conception. And he feels like that is so, so critical. We see something very similar in the Primester protocol, by the way. The amount of stress relief and soothing of the central nervous system, which Dr. Paul Turek talked about, and I just gave you some examples of, that happen when you know that you no longer have to mastermind this thing for yourself and by yourself, this fertility thing, this getting pregnant and staying pregnant thing, because you found the guide and the system that you trust. And now you can take your creativity out of it. You don't have to be clever anymore. You can just follow the steps, be in ease, and take the next step, the next step, and the next step, and know that that's going to get you there. And we always say the Primester protocol is the closest thing to a fertility GPS that we have in the world. And just like ways, if you follow the steps, you're very likely to get there. If you keep stopping and starting, if you turn right when it says to turn left, if you keep turning around and going back because you get spooked or whatever, then you are going to take a lot longer to get there, and you may not get there at all. And you certainly will be very discouraged before you get on your way there, right? So Dr. Marc Sklar talks about the importance of maintaining hope and belief in one's ability to conceive. And he encourages couples to stay open to new ideas and new options and new approaches. And he really underscores just how central belief is to the fertility journey. And I have to say that I have this saying I always share with our families at the Fertility and Pregnancy Institute, which is that belief may not be a sufficient condition for getting pregnant, but it's certainly a necessary condition. And what I mean by that is, does your belief and does your faith always 100% of the time guarantee that you will get to your baby? Well, probably not. However, are you very likely to not get to your baby if you don't believe and you don't have faith in what you're doing and you're just going through the motions? Very likely, yes. Which is why I always say that belief is and may not be a sufficient condition, but it is 100% a necessary condition for having your super baby. Dr. Sklar discusses the detrimental effects of stress on fertility and the importance of creating space for conception. As we were just talking about, he highlights the need to balance stress and relaxation using traditional Chinese medicine concepts to support smooth energy flow and reproductive health more broadly. And he provides actionable steps for improving fertility, and he gives you his top list of things that you can do to improve fertility. And he really stresses the importance of celebrating even your small wins along your journey. And he stresses the importance of trusting a professional guide to alleviate the burden of managing fertility challenges alone. And we talked about that, how just knowing that you have that guide can relieve so much of the stress and turmoil that you and your relationship and your household are in. Here are some of the quotes that I love from Dr. Marc Sklar's conversation. You can get pregnant, stay open to new paths and opportunities, and believe in your journey. Life is created in space. We need to create space to allow new adventures, ideas, and humans to come into being. That's probably my favorite. Trusting a professional guide can open up a world of possibilities and help you focus on the things you love while following a structured plan. And let me just say one thing about why I perceive this to be so important, this idea that having a trusted guide opens you up to this world of possibilities in which you can focus on the things that you love while you're making progress and getting closer and closer and closer to your super baby. Because if you think about everything that you desire in life, including the super babies and family, complete family you're desiring, at the core of that desire, just like at the core of every desire, is the belief that having that thing will increase your happiness and your positive experience of yourself and your life and your place in the world. And so, what if, just what if, as you're making your way to your baby, you still got to be happy and you got to focus on the things that bring you happiness and bring you positive emotion and allow you to feel positive about yourself, your life, your home, your world, and your place in the larger world. And if you think about it, that is really a key to getting pregnant and staying pregnant and having your super baby, is being able to experience positive emotion moment to moment, because that positive emotion and physical pleasure are the two most direct pathways out of stress and emergency and the trauma of being in the wait for your baby and any other traumas you've experienced in the past or you fear experiencing in the future. And they're the most direct pathways out of anxiety, out of feeling low in mood. And so it's actually not a small thing at all to be freed up to experience the things that make you happy today and tomorrow and the day after and the day after, as you make your way to your super baby. It's actually enormous. It's enormous at a biochemical level, psychoneuroimmunological level, at the epigenetic level, which directly translates into your biological age. And when you are stressed, you're accelerating that aging of your biology, the weathering of your internal systems and organs. And when you are in positive emotion and you feel lighter and you're in flow, it's like time is, it's like you're freezing time. You're preserving where your internal systems and organs are now, and even reversing from where they are now to become younger and younger. It's like what is it? Benjamin Button. It's like the Benjamin Button of fertility is happiness and and the experience of positive emotion. So though this is just a little, gosh, tiny sliver of a preview of what's to come in this magnificent experience that I have curated for you. I can't wait for you to be blessed by this experience. So actually, if you're listening to my voice right now, put blessed or bless in the comments, and we will get you the link so that you can have free access to the Super Fertility Summit. Our Super Fertility Summit is presented by Dr. Talks. So make sure that you add our email address and the Dr. Talks email address to your contacts in your email server so that you don't miss a thing, and also sign up for the optional text alerts so that you don't miss a thing. Our email is support@fertilitypregnancy.org. If you need anything, email us. Our support team is always there and ready to help you. And if you commented and you feel like you didn't get the reply on your comment, or maybe you missed a DM from us or whatever, email us and we'll take care of it for you. And then remember that the Doctor Talks messages will be about the Super Fertility Summit. All right. It's been so good to see you today. I'll be back to see you tomorrow. I want to share a couple more of these quotes and conversations with you. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow about Cultivate Fertility, Dr. Kara Burkhart and Dr. Hillary Fredrickson. What a dynamic duo. And also Dr. Joel Gator Warsh. And I'm really excited for you to hear just a tiny, tiny taste of the beautiful wisdom and information and practical tools that these three incredible experts shared in the Super Fertility Summit. So I'll be back to see you tomorrow. Have an incredible rest of the day. I send you off with warmest wishes, and I'm sprinkling super baby dust in your direction. I cannot wait to spend a full week with you. And wow, I mean, just the schedule is just packed. Actually, let me just give you a little bit of a taste of what you can expect from the schedule. All right. So, well, gosh, when you sign up, you can see the breakdown of the days, but you have 8 talks on day 1, and you have another 7 on day 2. I mean, every day is just going to be an incredible and immersive experience. My incredible friend and an incredible expert in her own right, Kate Northrup, is on day 4. You're going to love learning from her. Dr. Elisa Song, who just published her first book, Healthy Kids, Happy Kids, is talking about empowering your fertility through the microbiome connection on day 5. Kim West, the sleep lady, is also on day 5. We've got Dr. Marisa Snyder and Lindsay Matthews on day 6. We've got Dr. Roxanne Perot on day 7, as well as Barton Scott and Dr. Stephanie Estima. So excited for you to hear from all of these incredible people. So I will be back to see you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Oh, let me just make sure I didn't miss any of your comments here. Oh, good. I'm so happy you already are signed up. So happy for you. Hopefully you're already diving into all of the 15 bonuses that you have immediate access to. And then remember, day 1 of the summit is July 23rd, but make sure you sign up for your free access today, because the free access is only available for a limited time. All right. I will see you again tomorrow. Have an incredible rest of the day. Sending you off with warmest wishes and super baby dust, of course.